Buonasera, benvenuti a tutti. Good evening and welcome, everyone. My name is Dennis Castiglione. I'm a member of the Italian American Heritage Committee and also a proud member of the Northern Ohio Italian American Foundation and the Solon Italian Club. It's my privilege to once again serve as your Master of Ceremonies for these festivities. Today marks the 18th anniversary of the celebration of Italian American Heritage Month in Cleveland. We gather today to launch Italian American Heritage Month here in town and to pay tribute to individuals and companies that exemplify the strong will, unwavering spirit, hard work, determination, and pride of our culture and our people. We're so very pleased that you're all here to share this day with us. In our family, we affectionately call her the nun. She was the pastoral associate of St. Ignatius of Antioch Church for more than 30 years, and never one to let grass grow under her feet. Her retirement was short-lived. She currently serves as the administrative assistant in the Office of Ongoing Formation for Clergy for the Diocese of Cleveland. While I'd love to share stories of Diane's prowess on the bocce courts or softball diamond, we're on a fairly tight schedule here, so see me after the ceremony for any details or anything you'd like to know about that. Now, to deliver our invocation, it is my honor and privilege to introduce one of my favorite cousins, probably in the top 5, I would say. Very proud to introduce the nun, Sister Diane Puno.
Thank you, Dennis. It's nice to keep it in the family. And welcome everyone to Cleveland on a great night for our city, for those that we honor tonight, and go Guardians. So let us pray, maybe in that order. Lord our God, you created us to do good, to reach beyond our boundaries, to share the richness of our family, and to help anyone in need. We trust that you will continue to support our endeavors and efforts, which challenge us daily in service, compassion, and understanding, embracing those who come to us. May our heritage make us proud to profess our love of faith, family, and fine food. We are here this evening to celebrate the accomplishments of our fellow Italian Americans who have made an indelible mark on the history of Cleveland as prominent and renowned employees, owners, presidents, CEOs, and public servants, fully knowing that their gifts will assist all those who come to them in good times and in times of great challenges. We salute them for their dedication and love for the city of Cleveland and for all who dwell in it. Amen.
Todd, how we doing back there? Is that a thumbs up? Sweet. I'll tell you more about that in a moment. Please stand for the national anthems.
Fratelli d'Italia, l'Italia se ne sta, dell'elmo di Scipio se ci dà la testa, dove la vittoria le porga la chioma, che schiava di Roma, Dio la creò. Fratelli d'Italia, l'Italia se resta, dell'elmo di Scipio se cinta la testa, dove la vittoria le polga la chioma, che schiava di Roma, Dio la creò. Stringiamoci a corde, son pronti alla morte, l'Italia chiamò. Stringiamoci a corde, son pronti alla morte, l'Italia chiamò, sì!
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free, and the home of the
I just found those guys in the parking lot dressed like me. I thought I'd come. So I'll tell a real quick backstory. We're getting ready for tonight, and many of you may recognize his voice. That was my son Giovanni singing the Italian national anthem, which he's done here since I think he was 8 years old. Is the first time he did it here. So we have different pictures of him, varying heights. But the audio track that we had for him, because he couldn't be here tonight, was not working. So we called him at about 6 minutes to the hour. He did not have the file in his computer, so he just recorded that like 2 minutes before we went on tonight. That's why I asked if Todd was ready. So I love technology, don't you? We pulled it off, though, didn't we? That'll work. Great. Thank you. We are once again excited to have Ward 6 Councilman and Council President Blaine Griffin with us this evening. He serves a diverse area of Cleveland, including Little Italy, and has been a member of Cleveland City Council since 2017. We are also very proud to announce that he's been selected as Grand Marshal of the 2024 Columbus Day Parade and is the first non-Italian American, yes, the first non-Italian American to have the honor in the history of the parade. Please welcome Blaine Griffin.
Thank you so much, Dennis. Good evening. Come on now, this is a great day in the city of Cleveland. Good evening. I had a choice to make today to go see the guards or to sit here and celebrate Italian American Heritage Month. And guess where I chose to be, ladies and gentlemen? I want to first acknowledge a couple of elected officials and a couple of people who are not here. I know that when he decided to move on, his big ask of me and my colleague Mike Polensek was to make sure that we continue the tradition of the Italian American Heritage Month celebration here at City Hall, my good friend, former Councilman Matt Zone, if he could please stand. If Matt was still here, I may still have hair and still be not as gray because he helped keep stability in council, and we miss him dearly. He was definitely a good friend of ours. I also want to acknowledge my good friend, former state senator and a friend of all of ours, State Senator Kenny Yuko. Where's Yuko at? Brother Yuko. You know, it's always hard to get one judge in the family, but I think the name carries a brand. So the Celebreze family was fortunate enough to have two judges in the family, and I want to acknowledge Judge Leslie Ann Celebreze as well as the other Judge Celebreze, Nick Celebreze. And I'm fortunate to have my oldest son, Royce Griffin, here, who also works with Nick Celebreze, if he could please stand. It's always a privilege and an honor to come here to celebrate the arts, business, individual accomplishments, as well as public service. And I want to thank and congratulate all of the honorees, because it's truly a great moment when your name is called, especially to celebrate your culture and heritage and show the excellence of the Italian American community. As Dennis said, I have the privilege and honor of celebrating and being the council person for the Little Italy community. But I consider myself a council person for all of the city of Cleveland. And Italian Americans have a rich tradition in this community that will never go unnoticed, which is why I'm honored and privileged to be the first non-Italian American Grand Marshal for the Columbus Day Parade. And I'd like to thank my friend Basil for that. I recognize the tradition and all of the contributions that you all have made to make Cleveland great. And it's just the right thing to do to make sure that we do whatever we can at City Hall to bring you here to celebrate Italian American heritage and excellence in our community. I want to thank my team, Joan Mazzolini, who helped put this together, Joan Mazzolini, as well as the Community Relations Board. And I do want to say this, the young lady who used to help us pull this together unfortunately passed away late last year, Theasia Danley. And Theasia knew everything to do, and she knew some of the nuances of this, like putting the flag up over City Hall. So once again, I apologize that we didn't have all of the traditions that we usually have in place, but you're here today, and we are so happy and honored to celebrate you. So thank you, and have a great time. I apologize in advance because I do have to go and start Cleveland City Council off, but I will be back to celebrate, enjoy this festive occasion with you. I have the privilege and honor of bringing up my colleague, and he's been one of my most reliable partners on Cleveland City Council. We call him the Dean of Cleveland City Council, but you all just know him as Mike Polensic, the kid from Collinwood. I'd like to bring up my colleague, the Dean of Cleveland City Council, Michael Polensic, the co-chair.
Good evening, and to my dear friend Basil Russo, again to the council president, to Pamela, who I've got to tell you, my brothers and sisters, that lady is a hustler on behalf of the Italian community. Believe me when I tell you. There's nothing that goes unmissed with her as it concerns to this event, and whether it be up in Little Italy or whatever the case may be, she's been an advocate. To sister, it's always good to see you, and what you need to do is pray for the Browns. That's what you need to pray for, okay? I think the Guardians will do all right. It's the Browns that need the prayer. And to Dennis, again, as always, for being the spokesperson and the chairman. You know, it is a great pleasure to be here, as always, for this event. And to my dear friend Matt, and to Kenny, and all the other public officials that are here, again, thank you for coming. But I do want to say this. I want to thank you, and I want to thank Basil and the Italian community for recognizing Blaine Griffin as going to be the chairperson, honorary Grand Marshal for the Columbus Day Parade. Because from the day he got elected, I mentioned to him very passionately, Blaine, you take care of Little Italy, and they're going to take care of you. And they'll look out for you, and they'll support you. And if you don't look out for Little Italy, they're going to take care of you too, okay? So he's done just that. And I have to tell you, I'm always amazed when I'm in Little Italy visiting friends or businesses, how they always tell me how Blaine has always been a key supporter and advocate for the community. I need to say that. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. My brothers and sisters, on Saturday night, I was at my sister's house, and we were talking about, this family members were over, and we were talking about, we got into the whole discussion about immigration, the whole thing, and we're talking, my cousin was talking about when Grandpa Dominic and Grandma Conchetta came through Ellis Island, lived in Little Italy. We still can't figure out which street they lived on in Little Italy, but then went to the suburbs, moved to the suburbs, Royal Road in Collinwood. That was the suburbs then. And then from Royal to Cleveland Heights, and then as the family has spread out all over the place. But talking about how they worked hard to build a family, how to buy that home, how they sacrificed to save. And when I was thinking about it, is coming today to this event, all the people in attendance here, the people in the Italian community that have worked so hard to build Cleveland, to make our community what it is, to make this city a great city. I think of the work in here that took place by Italian craftsmen to build City Hall, all this beautiful stonework and masonry work, Italian craftsmen, just like you see all over the city and up in Little Italy as well. So I want to congratulate the honorees that are here today for their service to the community on behalf of not only their own families and their businesses, but again, for their commitment to the Italian community. Because I would hate to think what Cleveland would be, what it would be like without the Italian community here. The contributions, the dedication, the sacrifices. I'm reminded when I look at the list of young men who perished in the Second World War, just from Collinwood High School, over 200 lost their lives from Collinwood High School in the Second World War. And I look at all those names. It reflects across the entire greater Cleveland and Italian community. So my brothers and sisters, I'm honored to be here always to support this event. I want to thank again everyone who came out tonight. I want to thank my colleague. I want to again say to Basil. I got to tell you, I go back a long way with Basil. And you have a Columbus Day because of that man right there. I want to say that. And we forget, so often we forget. Americans have a short memory, but I watched and I read and I know what he did and the sacrifices and the crap that he took because he was there to support and keep Columbus Day tradition alive. Let's never forget that. So I'm appreciative of that, my friend. I'm appreciative to everyone on this stand, up on this podium, and all of you in this community. Let's keep the traditions alive. Let's keep the memory alive of our grandparents, our parents, all of our families and members, and let's keep the Italian community strong. God bless all of you. Thank you.
Now, please join me in welcoming the director of the Italian American Heritage Museum in Cleveland, the 2015 Italian American Heritage honoree, and the chairperson of the Italian American Heritage Committee since 2016. Ladies and gentlemen, Pamela D'Orazio Dean.
Grazie. And it's so great to see you all here this evening. I know you had a choice between the playoff game and this wonderful event, so I appreciate you so much for choosing to be here with us. I'm sure you're keeping your updates on the phone as the game is progressing. Let's keep our fingers crossed. It has been an honor and a pleasure to serve as chairperson of this committee. Matt Zone started this event back in 2006. Yeah, so it's a long-running tradition. It's a great tradition. It's important for our community to be able to recognize not only our four honorees, but all of the contributions Italian Americans have made to this region, to make this region what it is today. But before I introduce the committee and thank our sponsors, I wanted to say that Mayor Bibb couldn't be here this evening, but he did send a proclamation declaring October Italian American Heritage Month in Cleveland. So let's have a round of applause for Mayor Bibb. So as chair of this committee, I do a lot of work, but I couldn't get everything done without the support of the committee members who graciously give their time, energy, and talents to help get this event together. So I want to recognize them, and if they are present, please stand up and hold your applause until I'm finished. Thomas Antonello, Dennis Castiglione, Kelly Falcone Hall, Aldo Filippelli, Mario Fiorito, Robert Lapucci, Ezio Lestati, Joseph Marinucci, and Matt Zone. Thank you all so much for your work. This evening would not be possible without the support of Cleveland City Hall, and especially Cleveland City Council, and Mike Polensek and Blaine Griffin. Thank you so much for continuing to support this event. I also want to thank Joan Mazzolini, who helps with the program, and community relations, Leticia Maldonado and Luis Fernandez. Thank you both for your assistance with this event. And then finally, our sponsors of the event, namely the Italian Sons and Daughters of America, Basil Russo, who is the national president. They sponsor the dinner that you're all going to be enjoying this evening. So let's thank the ISDA for their generosity. And then we have a number of other sponsors that I would like to recognize: the Borgata Bar in Little Italy, the Italian Cultural Garden, the Southwest Italian American Club, American Limousine Service, Wild Pitch, which is the name of the wonderful quartet that sang the national anthem, the Little Italy Future Leaders, and the Italian American Museum of Cleveland, and the Western Reserve Historical Society. So let's have a round of applause for our sponsors. So I think it's back to you, Dennis. Oh, I have it? Oh, Basil.
I love live theater, don't you? Well, I've known this next gentleman for 65 years, and for those who are doing the math, he was 12 and I was 5. But who's counting? Through the years, I've watched with pride and admiration as he rose to serve the city of Cleveland and Cuyahoga County in various capacities. But what is most impressive and meaningful to me is his tireless work to preserve and promote our Italian-American heritage locally and nationally. He serves as president of the Conference of Presidents of Major Italian-American Organizations, is the national president of the Italian Sons and Daughters of America, president of the Justinian Forum Italian-American Bar Association, and as a member of the executive committee of the National Italian-American Foundation in Washington, D.C. His work to preserve Columbus Day is legendary, and his latest charge to help create the Italian-American Future Leaders Program is game-changing. He was also formally inducted as a Knight of the Order of Merit of the Republic of Italy in 2023, the highest-ranking honor of the Italian Republic. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome a longtime idol of mine, Basil Russo.
I want to begin by acknowledging and thanking Sister Diane, Pamela, Dennis, and the two best friends the Italian-American community has in the political arena in northeastern Ohio. Neither one of them are Italian by blood, but they're both adopted Italians, and we're extremely grateful for everything that Blaine Griffin and Mike Polensek do for our community. Thank you. ISDA is honored to sponsor this important event that celebrates our Italian-American heritage by recognizing individuals who have made important contributions to our community. And I want to extend my congratulations to our 4 exceptional honorees this evening, the Morial family, the Mazzarella family. We also have with us the Guarino family, Ray Guarino, and we're missing this evening a special friend of our community, State Senator Jerry Serino. Jerry is very, very supportive of our community in Columbus. He had a conflict, wasn't able to come this evening. Senator Al Cutrona was supposed to be here in his stead. I'm not sure whether Al's here this evening or not, but we want to extend our gratitude to Senator Serino for all he does for our community in the Ohio legislature. I'd like to say a few words to you tonight in my capacity as the president of what we call a Conference of Presidents, which is the umbrella organization that 67 of our national organizations belong to, so that we can work together to promote issues that are important to the Italian-American community throughout the country. The first of those 3 involves the wonderful program we created to connect with our younger generations, known as the Italian-American Future Leaders Conference. We initiated the program 2 years ago because we understood that if we want to save our heritage, we need to find meaningful ways to pass that heritage along to the younger generations. And we've created this unique program to do just that. This annual program began in January of 2022 when we took 100 talented young Italian-American future leaders to Fort Lauderdale, Florida for an all-expense-paid 3-day weekend to help nurture them in an appreciation and love of our heritage, and to encourage them to begin assuming leadership positions in Italian-American communities throughout our country. The next year, in 2023, we invited nearly twice as many, 200 young Italian Americans, to participate in the program. And this year, we believe we will exceed that number when we hold the program for its 3rd annual event in January of 2025. Several young leaders from the Cleveland area between the ages of 21 and 25 have already attended this program, and all of them have great things to say about it. Our second major event involves the White House. As many of you know, the First Lady shares our Italian-American heritage. So on behalf of the Conference of Presidents, I wrote to her in July of 2023 requesting that she host a reception at the White House last October to celebrate Italian-American Heritage Month, because not enough attention is paid to our heritage and our Heritage Month. And I felt that if we had a celebration of it at the White House, the media throughout the country would begin to pay attention to Italian-American Heritage Month. The First Lady graciously agreed, and we held that reception last October at the White House. She will again host a reception honoring Italian-American Heritage Month next Wednesday, October the 14th, at the White House as well. These 2 receptions are precedent-setting events in that they mark the first time in the history of our community that the White House has ever hosted an event acknowledging and celebrating Italian-American Heritage Month. Now, the third event that I want to bring to your attention to celebrate Italian-American Heritage Month involves the an event that was held at the Agbo Studio in Hollywood last January, when the Russo brothers Italian-American Film Forum, a program that was created by my wife, myself, and our children, to provide grants to filmmakers who create films that depict the Italian-American experience in a positive light. We held the first such event this past January in order to focus national attention on films that portray us in a positive way. Last year's winning film was titled Potentially Dangerous. It was an excellent documentary film that brought to light the terrible injustices that 600,000 of our ancestors were subjected to when they were labeled as enemy aliens during World War II. Our parents, in many cases, our grandparents, in many cases, were subjected to curfews. Their property was confiscated. Many of them lost their jobs. Many of them were evicted from their homes, and many of them were placed in internment camps. The tragic irony of that situation is that our government was treating them as criminals when 1 million of their sons were fighting in Europe and the South Pacific, fighting and dying to preserve this country's liberty. Injustices such as that need to be exposed in order to ensure that they never happen again in our country, and this film did an excellent job of doing so. This year's winning film will be selected next month from the 6 films that have been submitted for consideration this year to see which one of them will win the award for the best film this year. To date, 48 films have received grants totaling in excess of $400,000 from the Film Forum, which is funneled and provided, the funding is for the grants is provided by the Italian Sons and Daughters of America and Agbo Studios that is operated by the Russo brothers. So this is a unique program. No other ethnicity in the country has anything like it, and it's doing something very meaningful and important to dispel the most prevalent stereotype that has ever existed in our country, and that is the stereotype of associating Italian Americans with organized crime. We've had our fill of that, we're doing away with that, and we're teaching the younger generation of filmmakers what important, positive contributions Italian Americans have made in our country so that we can be portrayed in a meaningful, positive way in the film industry throughout our country from this time forward. Now, Columbus Day, finally, I want to say a few words to you about Columbus Day. The ISDA will again be hosting our annual Columbus Day Parade in Little Italy next Monday. The day will begin with Mass at Holy Rosary Parish at 10 a.m. The parade steps off at noon sharp. We invite all of you to join us for the parade. Columbus Day is a national holiday that celebrates the explorer's heroic voyage that forever linked the old world to the new world to create one world. It's especially important to Italian Americans because Columbus was a symbol that provided our ancestors with the courage to overcome the prejudices, the hatred, and the violence they were subjected to in our country. Columbus Day was first celebrated nationally in 1892. Why? Because the year before, 11 Italian immigrants in New Orleans were lynched by a mob of 5,000 people, making it the largest lynch mob ever to assemble on American soil in the history of this country. In the 30 years ensuing thereafter, there were 40 other lynchings of Italian immigrants in states throughout our country. Now, the original purpose of Columbus Day was at that time presented by President Harrison, who was appalled by the way Italian Americans were being treated in this country. He promoted the celebration of Columbus Day to encourage the greater acceptance of Italian immigrants in our country. What we all need to remember is that in recent years, there have been many false and misleading allegations made about Columbus, oftentimes by well-intentioned people who cite flawed sources that are not supported by primary source material. There have been numerous books written in the past 10 years that clearly debunk all of the scurrilous allegations that have been made about Columbus. Our job is to speak up and preach the truth. We cannot sit quietly by while others attempt to erase our history and rewrite it for us. We must and we will preserve our history. To learn more about our history and to get the true facts about Columbus and what he contributed to this country, I encourage all of you to visit the Italian American Museum in Little Italy. And finally, I'm pleased to explain, as has been reported to you earlier, that the Columbus Day Parade Committee unanimously decided to break a 70-year precedent by selecting a non-Italian to serve as our Grand Marshal of this year's Columbus Day Parade. The individual we selected this year has spent his entire career working to bring people together by encouraging all groups in our community to be mutually respectful of one another, to communicate with one another, and to cooperate with one another in supporting initiatives that make Cleveland a better home for everyone. And as I mentioned earlier, for many years, this gentleman has been a great and loyal friend to the Italian American community, and that's why we were excited to select our council president, Blaine Griffin, as this year's Grand Marshal of the Columbus Day Parade. Blaine and I look forward to seeing all of you next Monday in Little Italy. And if you happen to see me, please come up and say hello so we can wish each other a happy Columbus Day. God bless you all and thank you.
So now we're going to present the honorees, beginning with the O.A. Bertine Company in the category of arts. So you want to come up on the stage? The O.A. Bertine Company was founded in 1926 by Odorico Bertine after he immigrated to the United States from northern Italy. Joined by his two sons and a nephew, Odorico launched the terrazzo flooring business utilizing their finely developed skills and kept it running through their hard work and dedication. After World War II, Odorico passed down the operation of the company to his two sons, Tullio and Dante, and his nephew, Achille. All three were skilled craftsmen. They formed deep relationships in the construction industry. In the mid-1950s, Bruno Moreal was taken under the wing of Achille, a part owner of the business. Bruno, a fellow immigrant from northern Italy, learned the precision of and developed a passion for the business, and later became Achille's son-in-law. When the second generation retired from the family business, Bruno began running the O.A. Bertine Company full-time. Working with some of the most prominent developers and construction companies, Bruno grew the business and the reputation of the company. His dedication propelled the O.A. Bertin Company for the next generation. Today, Bruno's two sons, Mark and Michael, who began their career with the company as teenagers, provide the administrative and field leadership, while his daughter, Marissa Kilner, serves as the office manager. Together, they have managed some of the area's largest renovations and new projects in the terrazzo flooring field, including Cleveland Hopkins Airport, Cleveland Clinic, and Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse, along with colleges, universities, and schools throughout Northeast Ohio. As the company approaches its 100th anniversary, the fifth generation of the family has become involved in the business. Mark's son, Nick, joined the company. Throughout the century, the O.A. Bertin Company has been in business. What remained the same is the family tradition of hard work, pride, passion, and honesty in craft. On behalf of the Cleveland Italian American Heritage Committee, I'm proud to present Mark Morial with the Arts Award for Italian American Heritage Month.
Well, thank you very much. I didn't know what to expect today, but I should have known when there's Italians involved, this is like an Italian party or an Italian wedding. There's a lot of people out here. I had no idea. But anyways, on behalf of my father, Bruno, my brother, Mike, my sister, Marisa, and myself, I'd like to thank the Italian American Heritage Committee for this great honor. I'd like to also thank Chairperson Pamela D'Orazio-Dean for chairing this event, along with co-chairs Councilman Griffin and Councilman Polensek. Thank you very much. Being in the construction industry for over 40 years, I've seen a lot of quality craftsmanship throughout Greater Cleveland that our Italian forefathers have worked on. For example, mentioned earlier, this beautiful rotunda, the craftsmanship, the hard work. And when they did stuff like this, they didn't have the machinery and they had the manpower, but the machinery, not like what they have today. So there's a lot of buildings like this. I go throughout the city now, I look at old jobs and I go, oh, my grandfather did that. My dad did that. It seems like every terrazzo job, I don't want to say every terrazzo job, but a lot of terrazzo jobs in Cleveland we were part of. And it gives you great pride. For us to receive this for our family is very special. Speaking of family, I'd like to thank my immediate family who's here. My wife, Meg, who, being in an Italian family business, it's like business never ends. I mean, I remember growing up, seeing my father come home from work. We'd have dinner as a family at 6 o'clock. And after dinner, he goes, I'm gonna run to the shop. I go, run to the shop? He goes, and now I do the same thing. I did say to myself, I said, when I take over, I'm not gonna be doing that, but you know what? Your job never ends. When you have a passion for your business and you have a unique business like ours, all businesses are unique, but there's a lot of, I used to tell my dad, I go, what do you have to go to shop for? He goes, who's gonna do it? I go, okay, I'm doing the same thing now. So his work ethic, he instilled in me and my grandfather too. So thank you for my wife. I have my son, Nick, over here with his girlfriend, Faith. He will be the next, the fifth generation family member taking over the business. He just came into it this year, as I noted earlier, or in the bio. So congratulations to him doing that. My daughter, Alyssa, and my son-in-law, Mark, I'd like to thank them for being here. That's it. Okay. So I don't know. I could stay up for all night, keep talking, but I won't. I want to again say thank you to everybody. This is a great honor. I know my grandfather and his two cousins and my mother would be looking down today, just being very proud and very thankful that this company is still going forward. 2 more years, we'll hit 100 years in a Bertine Moriel family. So thank you very much.
Okay. Let's see. Our next honoree is in the category of business, the American Limousine Services, the Mazzarella family. Bob Mazzarella is a third-generation Italian-American who has a family history of entrepreneurship, rich faith, and dedication to community service. He grew up working for both of his father's businesses, American Limousine Service and American Coach Sales. While attending St. Edward High School, class of 1975, Bob spent time after school washing cars and his weekends driving funerals. In 1979, he took a more active role and began his career growing the family business to new heights. Under his leadership, American Limousine Service gained a robust reputation, not only in funeral service and night and weekend transportation, but also in corporate transportation. It expanded to Columbus, Ohio, and became a Cary International franchise. Today, it has one of the top 20 largest fleets in the United States chauffeured transportation. Additionally, Bob transformed American Coach Sales from a small regional dealership to a nationwide dealership and one of the largest distributors of funeral and specialty vehicles in the world. As dedicated as Bob is to business, he relishes the opportunity to carry on his family's legacy of community service. Bob is particularly involved with Our Lady of Mount Carmel West, where he serves as the chair of the Finance Committee and vice president of the OLMC School Board. In 2022, the Mercedarian Order awarded him with the title of Fratello Maggiore, a special distinction he shares with his grandfather, Robert. Additionally, Bob serves on the advisory board of the Mount Alverna Village, the Philanthropic and Community Service Committee for the Northern Ohio Italian American Foundation, and is responsible for Veterans Affairs for the Neighborhood Vets Club on Herman Avenue. He attributes the balance between working and community involvement to his success and longevity. Bob has loved spending the past 45 years of his career working alongside his parents, aunts, uncles, and siblings. He now especially enjoys working with all 3 of his children. On behalf of the Cleveland Italian American Heritage Committee, I'm happy to present Bob Mazzarella of American Limousine Services with our award for business.
Sure, sure.
Thank you, Pam. Thank you, everyone. Good evening. It's truly an honor to be here tonight and to be amongst some great people here on the dais. Sister Diane, Pamela Dean, DeRazio, my good friend Dennis Castiglione, and Basil Russo, a great mentor and a fine Italian American for the future of our endeavors. I'm Bob Mazzarella. I'm second-generation owner of American Limousine Service in Cleveland and Columbus, Ohio, along with our sister company, American Coach Sales, which we are dealers and distributors of specialty vehicles, hearses, limousines, and other types of vehicles that we run in our business. By having that opportunity to service the community in our limousine service, we're also able to use those same vehicles in our sales efforts, not only regionally, but around the country. My good friend Umberto Fedeli, who has often written articles about business, faith, and family often says, it's not the what, it's the who. I believe that represents all aspects of my life. With any success, it's all not just about what I accomplish, it's about who was behind me, who was there to teach me, to encourage me, to support the endeavors, and the village that was all behind me. With any obstacles, it's not about the problems I had to face, but it was about who was there next to me, who was there to put my life in perspective, to help me turn to my faith, appreciate the blessings in my life, and to guide me to the other side. This award is not about the what, it's about the who. Honoring our business is not just about honoring the dollars and cents made or the vehicles in our garage. Honoring our business is about honoring all the people who've contributed from every employee in our business, our accountants, chauffeurs, mechanics, car washers, dispatchers, receptionists, each and every one of them and each and every one of their families. I'm just one of those people. With that, I would like to thank my family and the support system who has been there for my past 45 plus years, and therefore part of the success of this award. I want to thank my friends and family, especially my wife, Holly. I want to thank all the employees and friends and family who could not make it, but who share in this celebration. To those who are here in spirit, including my numerous aunts and uncles who were part of the business, my grandparents, my youngest sister, Angela, and especially my parents, Tony and Virginia. Thank you again to this committee, everyone here tonight, and everyone who's contributed to this award. God bless.
Our next honoree is Ray Guarino for the individual category. So Ray, come on up. Raymond Guarino, the youngest child of Angelo and Doris Guarino, was raised in Willoughby Hills, Ohio, along with his 3 brothers and 3 sisters. Ray attended St. Felicitas Elementary School and graduated from St. Joseph High School in 1982. Ray's professional career was with the Ohio Lottery Commission, where he headed the IT department, and from which he retired after 33 years of service. During his time at the commission and following his retirement, Ray has been active in Northeast Ohio's Italian American community. A longtime member of the Italian American Brotherhood Club located in Cleveland's Little Italy neighborhood, Ray has been serving on the club's board of directors as a trustee since 2000. In 2017, he was elected IABC president. Under Raymond's leadership, the club has grown in many ways and has made a significant and positive impact on the Little Italy neighborhood. Amongst Ray's accomplishments are the acquisition and rehabilitation of the club's headquarters building in Little Italy on Random Road, the construction and ownership of the building of the Rocky Colavito statue located in Brush Park, and the purposeful expansion of the club to ensure its ability to sustain itself for the benefit of future generations. As co-financial secretary of the Abruzzo Earthquake Committee, Raymond was instrumental in the local effort to raise funds for the victims of the Abruzzo earthquake in 2009. The committee organized many Northeast Ohio Italian American clubs and raised over $80,000 for the relief efforts in Italy. Ray lives in Chesterland with Gina and sons Trevor and Linus, and has 2 adult daughters, Alexa and Lauren. In addition to his work with the IAB Club, he serves as president of the Geauga Parks District and is owner of Severino's Restaurant in Eastlake, Ohio. On behalf of the Cleveland Italian American Heritage Committee, congratulations on your honor, Ray. I'll set this.
Thanks. I'm not the greatest public speaker, but I'll give it a whirl. First of all, I'd like to thank the committee for bestowing this honor on me. I'm really humbled by it. I'd like to thank my family for putting up with me. My brother that passed away, my brother Mike, is the one who got me involved, really involved in the Italian community in Little Italy. And the late Pete DiGaetano, who actually was the president of the club, put me on the board a long time ago, asked me to serve on the board. With clubs, you're only as good as your member and your board. I'd like to really thank my board who have done everything for this club. We're coming up on 100 years, and a couple more years, we'll be 100 years old in 2028. I'd really like to thank the board. I'd like to thank my members, the membership of this club. It's been growing, and it's a great thing. As everybody knows, during COVID, it was a real tough time for clubs. Since COVID, we've gotten a lot stronger, and I just appreciate everything everybody does for me and my family. Thank you.
Individual. And last, but certainly not least, we are honoring Senator Jerry Cirino as the public servant. And Senator Cirino couldn't be with us this evening, so accepting on his behalf is Senator Al Catrona. Senator Jerry Cirino is currently serving his first term in the Ohio Senate, representing the people of Lake County and portions of Cuyahoga County. He brings proven leadership and considerable business expertise to state government, as well as keen understanding of local government from his 4 recent years as a Lake County Commissioner. Senator Cirino spent many years leading companies in the medical device arena. Now retired, he was the founding CEO to Source One Healthcare Technologies in Mentor, and was instrumental in bringing hundreds of jobs to Lake County and Ohio through his work as a business leader. As a county commissioner, he worked to create jobs, friendly environment, and a local government that was responsive to the needs and challenges created by the COVID-19 pandemic. A fiscal conservative, Senator Cirino's experience in managing complex budgets and creatively dealing with business challenges, coupled with his passion for success, is aimed at ensuring the growth of Lake and Cuyahoga counties. Active in his community, Senator Cirino has previously served as chairman of the Board of Trustees of Lakeland Community College and was a board member of Lake Health Systems and Lake Erie College. He continues to serve on boards of companies and nonprofit organizations. Senator Cirino is also the co-founder of My Board Advisors, a consulting firm serving the needs of small businesses. Senator Cirino is also active in the Roman Catholic Church in a variety of capacities. He holds a Bachelor of Science in Business and an MBA from Lake Erie College. In 2005, he was awarded an honorary degree of Doctor of Humane Letters following his commencement address at his alma mater, Lake Erie College. Senator Cirino and his wife Donna have been married for 50 years and have lived in Lake County for over 40 years, where they raised 9 children. They now have 38 grandchildren. So on behalf of the Cleveland Italian American Heritage Committee, we're happy to present this award to Senator Serino, it is being accepted by Senator Catrona. I will set this right here for you.
Well, good evening. I'm sure that most of you guys probably looked over here and said, my goodness, Senator Serino, you don't look a day over 35. Those are incredible Italian genes you have in you. My name is Al Catrona. I'm the state senator from Youngstown, Ohio. But today I stand here as a proud Italian American, somebody who understands the importance of our heritage, the importance of our culture, and the precious history that we have. And I think, and I wasn't going to speak on this, but Basil mentioned very, very importantly Christopher Columbus. And that is why I saved in 2020 the Christopher Columbus statue that was going to be destroyed and brought it back to Youngstown, Ohio, and brought it to our church at Our Lady of Mount Carmel. And now it stands there, all 22 feet of it, protected by the Knights of Columbus. But somebody who understands that even better than I is a good friend, a colleague, and somebody I consider a mentor, and that is Senator Serino. And everyone here is lucky to have him here in this community. Now, he wishes he could be here this evening, but state business called upon him, and so he's in Columbus right now serving you. So he sent a paisan over here from Youngstown to read a little bit of a statement that he wanted to make. Members of the Italian American Heritage Committee, honored guests, and my fellow Italian Americans, I was deeply honored when Pamela informed me that I would be the honoree for the public servant category tonight. It is with deep regret that I cannot be there with you tonight, as I am in Columbus conducting my work as chairman of the Senate Higher Education and Workforce Committee. I very much appreciate my colleague, Senator Al Catrona, and my fellow Italian American for joining you tonight and accepting this honor in my place. My grandfather came to this country in 1924, leaving his family behind in Matrice for 12 years before he could afford to bring them here. My father came here in 1936 at the age of 12. They settled in Little Italy, where I grew up attending Holy Rosary School. The risks were high, and the sacrifice my grandparents made to find a better life here in America for their family and future grandchildren have never been lost on me. Their hard work made it possible for me to be the first in my family to graduate from college, to have a successful business career, and now to give back to the people of Ohio in the Senate. Not only will I never forget my Italian heritage, I am keeping it alive through my 9 children and 38 grandchildren. We must never let the sacrifices made on our behalf be forgotten, and that is why these events which celebrate our heritage are so important. On behalf of my wife, Donna, and our extended family, I thank you for recognizing my work as a public servant and the proud Italian American. Thank you.
When I first joined this committee, I realized how little I knew about some of the people that we were honoring each year. Some of them are dear friends like Bob and watched them throughout their careers. But one of the things that I truly appreciated as a part of this committee is that those we honor are people that didn't do this for recognition. They did it to feed their families, they did it to support their community, and now we're finally acknowledging their contributions as Italian Americans to our community. And I think that's one of the things that this committee has done so well, and the nominees have done so well, to be able to bring that to our attention. So it's with great pride that I'm able to sit on this committee and to address you as our MC tonight. Before we begin dinner, which again was provided by the Italian American Sons and Daughters of America and is catered by our good friends at Nido Italia, but I would like to call Sister Diane Puno for our closing prayer.
I think one thing that we really learned this evening is to listen to the stories. We've always done that, haven't we, as family? Didn't your grandmother say to you, come, sit down around the table? And that's what we're going to do tonight. We're going to break bread together and thank our God for what we have been given by our heritage and how we share that with the young among us to make sure that they're aware of the sacrifices that have been made for us. And we thank our God for all of that. So let us pray together in the words our Savior has given us. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. And we pray, bless us, O Lord, and these thy gifts, which we are about to receive from thy goodness through Christ our Lord. Amen. Welcome, everyone, to the table.
Okay, order of dinner tonight, we are going to be called table by table, beginning with our honorees. So please sit tight till someone's come to your table and called you to the table. God bless us all, and see you on Monday. Thank you.